Well, this escalated. Alright, welcome back, guys. So, today is take apart after dyno day. Take a look. Went ahead and pulled off my lines for my catch can, cleaned it out. I've never had really much oil in the catch can. I mean, there was more E85 junk in it than anything else. Like, there's literally a little bit of oil residue. Mainly it was E85, just junk vapors that got caught in the fittings. Nothing really in the can. It's been 2,000 miles, and that catch can has not really got anything in it. But I'm going to pull the cold air off, pull the valves cover, not the valve cover, the coil covers off both sides, pull the plugs, and take a look. Just make sure everything's good. That's one thing I want to make sure and get better at, is just keeping an eye on things and making sure everything's good. Alright, so how the hell did we get here? From checking plugs to motor, well, blower being on the workbench, and everything being out. So, I found coolant, cylinder number 3, a little bit of cylinder number 4. I've done a compression test, everything passed. I did a leak down test just on cylinder 3, because I'm lazy. I'm not trying to do all that. I've racked my head around this. I've talked to a bunch of people. Some people think I lifted the head, sat it back down, it sealed itself, leaving the coolant in the cylinder. That doesn't make sense to me because I drove home. It sat 2 days, and then I pulled plugs. If it resealed itself, how is there coolant in there when the motors ran? If it lifted up during a watt pull, came back, resealed itself, and then drove home and didn't burn up the coolant, that doesn't make much sense. One of the guys I talked to and Department of Boost both mentioned, hey, intercooler brick. Pull the intercooler brick. So that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, so let's run through this real quick on what happened. So I pulled the spark plugs out in order to just basic maintenance. Found coolant in cylinder number 3. 1, 2, 3. Found some coolant. Pull it up. That's why this one's super clean. And it kind of became a thing. Did leak down, did compression. It passed everything. Decided to pull the motor. Take a look. Head studs. Correction, back up. Before I pulled the motor, I pulled the valve cover and checked my head studs. My head studs were not torqued to spec like they were before. I got about a quarter, not even a quarter of a turn until they, about a quarter of a turn until they clicked. So something happened. Either head studs were stretched or head studs backed out. I looked at my markings, because I mark everything when I torque it. And I mean everything is marked. Everything is marked when I torque it. And some of them were moved, some of them were not. You can see my mark right there. And I got a mark on the nut and then on the head itself. Some of these have moved and some of these have not. Mind you, there was no coolant in this cylinder. Let me see if I can find a good one here. Cannot, it's a little hard to tell. Okay, this one moved. Get it to focus. Okay, so you can see my mark on the head and then my mark on the nut. That stud has moved. Now if I come over here, that stud looks like it hasn't moved. This stud, you can't tell. This stud, let me see. Can't know my fat ass is in the light. Can't really tell, there's too many reflections going on. And then this one, focus. Oh, that one might have turned a lot because I don't see a mark on the actual Yeah, I don't see a mark on the block. Oh, can I see one? No, I can't. I can't see one. This one. I only ever washed off this washer. Looks like it's kind of sitting weird. But then I look at that one, it's kind of the same way. They're all kind of cocked one way. Anyway, so, come to find out, I put chrome moly head studs in this, not ARP 2000s. My mistake. Anybody who says they haven't made a mistake, you're full of shit. But I made a mistake. And it's okay. So what I did here, we put Dicom all across the cylinder head. Take a piece of glass, because the glass is flat, with some sandpaper, 600 grit, and with the weight of the glass, you just slide it back and forth. If it starts wearing down, kind of like that, if it starts wearing down real, like a whole bunch like that, on any of these journals, the combustion chambers, leaking into different cylinders, that's a problem. This looks pretty uniform. I didn't get the Dicom very even, but it looks pretty uniform all the way across with new MLX gaskets, not MLS gaskets, so a couple more layers, and some copper spray, and some ARP 2000s. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll slap it all back together and fucking send it. Got a new hood, don't care for it. Got an OEM hood, really care for it. But this is a 4-inch cowl. A gentleman decided to trade me my Cervini hood for this Cervini hood and this Billy Badass tensioner. I have belt slip issues, so maybe that tensioner will help. I may run that hood for a little bit just because this has like 300 miles on it and is super clean besides the handprints on it. And it's going to make the rest of my car look like shit. It's going to point out very obviously how much it looks bad. So we're going to probably run that hood for a little bit. I don't know. But, pro tip. Also, when you go to do shit like this, keep an eye on your bucket, because my bucket was underneath the car when I lowered it and blew out the bottom of the bucket. So all of my coolant and water decided to go all over the place. It's so much fun. But yeah, I think we're good. I have head studs. My other timing cover gaskets, intake manifold gaskets, all that fun stuff should be here today. It was supposed to be here today. If not, it'll be here tomorrow. Still waiting on the Chromatic head gaskets. Once we get those back, we slap everything back together and throw it back in the car and get back after it. Might get those powder coated. I don't know. But guys, this is part of the learning curve. You make fuck ups when you get excited and you don't do enough research. Thankfully, I'm pretty confident in everything else. I've had primaries, Ford Racing guides. I trust the motor builder. I mean, the cylinders and everything look great. You can still see the cross hatching on the cylinder walls. There's nothing crazy going on. Everything looks fine, except for the head gasket. So, lesson learned is what it is. Worst part is, it was $100 difference between these head studs and the other ones. And it would have only taken me about 20-30 minutes to not make this mistake. But it is what it is. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoy watching my fuck up with all of my shit. This doesn't look organized. All of my bolts are in bags over there. This is just head studs, as well as like header bolts. This is just the sandpaper from doing all this. It doesn't look organized. It is. Fuck you. The one-man show. Doing what I gotta do. But alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I know you guys are gonna be very happy dogging me in the comments. It is what it is. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Check your plugs. Check your fucking plugs. Check your cylinders. Put a camera in there. Takes 2 seconds. Prevents from blowing up the motor. Have a good one, guys.